Well, hello class. Hope you're doing well. This week we're going to use Google Draw to create a hamburger. We'll be working with Google Draw for a couple of weeks. This is just a practice drawing this week. Next week we'll do a self-portrait. I kind of want to show you how to get started. Um, you can get super detailed on this. The one that I have here this probably took me about an hour, and I was kind of playing around with it a little bit, experimenting with some different things. But I want to show you how to use Google Draw to create this hamburger digitally. So the first thing we want to do is go to Google Draw. And the way you go to Google Draw is open up Google and just type in Google Draw, and you'll see this first link that comes up, docs.google.com. Click it, and you will have a blank Google Draw screen. Now, the first thing we want to do is bring that hamburger in, because anything we're going to be drawing, using this approach, we're going to trace things. So we're going to insert an image, and so the way you do that is go to Insert Image by URL. And this URL is here at our blog site. Go to our blog, and it's this hamburger right here. So you copy this. We'll go back to our drawing. We'll do Insert Image by URL. And you can do right-click, paste. There it is. Click Insert. And it's thinking, and there it is. Now it's pretty big. We've got a lot of extra stuff. So you can use this tool right here. This is the crop image tool. So you can click crop image. You can just grab the handles and trim it. And then after you've got your image cropped, you can just double click, and there you go. If you want to, you can use the move tool, the select tool right here, to move it around. But what we want to do is just leave it right here on the side, because we're going to draw our hamburger on this side. And you can see in our blog that I've got one drawn next to the burger as well, as an example. So next step is we'll actually begin drawing this. We're going to use these drawing tools right here. You can use the curve line, you can use polyline, but I would use either the curve or polyline. The line, the arrow, all these connectors, these will not work. And there you go. There's a line. It'll just give you a regular line. You really can't do too much with that. If I wanted to, say if I just drew a line by accident, I could press my delete key if I wanted to and just get rid of it. I could also do Control Z, which will give me undos. If I just keep pressing Control Z, you can see that it just goes back in time. So anyway, I'm going to use both the polyline and the curve to show you the differences between the two tools. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Here's our zoom tool. Zoom tool and just click, adjust my window. So I'm using the polyline. So what I can do is I can just start to click, and I'm just click, 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 click. You can see they're all straight lines. I'm not getting any curve lines. And if you make enough clicks, it will it will look pretty curved. Now we can change our color. Oops, I have a little left over here. I'm just gonna, if you need to get out of a tool, you can click escape. And here I've got my shape. Now we want to change the color. You can go to fill color and choose a color. It's pretty good. It's still got this outline. So we always want to choose the border color and go to transparent. So that is the polyline tool. And that works fine. It works for things if you have a lot of straight lines. I'm going to delete this one. And I'm going to show you the curve line. And that's a little cooler in my opinion. You start and you click, and then when you click, you can start to pull it around. And if it's not perfect, that's okay, because we can adjust that later. It makes things easier. Click and start to drag around. And I'm just sort of clicking, and there we go. And I can adjust these. So I'll go back and I'll change my color again to the hamburger bun color. Make my border transparent. And now we're drawing this side by side. So I'll use my select tool, and I'm going to hold down my shift key. So I'm pressing my shift key and I'm dragging. If I press down my shift key and drag, it's just going to pull it in a straight line. If I don't have my shift key, I can drag it anywhere. If I want to just keep it straight across, hold my shift key, pull across, and let go. So I want to tell you how you can sort of fine tune these lines. What you can do is you go to the select tool and double click. And when you double click it, if you click it one time, it just selects the whole shape. If you double click, you can grab each of these little control points and adjust things a little bit. Like so. Next, I'm just going to continue tracing the different elements of our hamburger, our cheeseburger. I think before I'm going to do that though, let's go ahead and title it. So go up here where it says untitled drawing, and I would like you to put your name and then initial and then burger. That'll work. So next, we're going to draw this cheese element right here. So I'm going to go to my curve line. I'm going to start to trace. And look, I'm going to start right up here above the level of the bun. I'm clicking, and you notice I'm not being perfect at all. So I'm going to go there. So I've got my cheese element. I'm going to give it a color. Let's see. If I don't have a color that I really like that's too yellow, that's too mustardy, I can go to custom color, and I can choose sort of a cheesy color if I want to. And that looks, I think that'll work. Something like that. Click OK. Again, I'm going to choose my transparent border, and I'm going to hold down my shift key, use my select or move tool, and bring this across. Now, you can see right now the cheese is on top of the bun. So we want to change the order of these elements. So what I can do is I can right click on it, I can do order, and I can do send backwards. And now it's behind. So you can kind of see what's happening now. I'm going to choose, maybe I'm going to choose this area. It's kind of shadowy here. Not the front of the tomatoes, kind of the background of the tomatoes. So choose my curve tool, and I'm going to sort of choose maybe this area. And I'm going to go to, I'm just going to go to dark red and no border. I'm going to drag this across using the shift tool. You can see that that's on top. I'm going to right click, order. I'm going to send backwards. So right now, the hamburger bun is on top. The shadow of the tomato is still in front, so I can go back and send backwards again. Looks pretty good. Now I'm going to do this tomato. Clicking, clicking, clicking. And you really don't have to be that precise. It's going to end up looking pretty cool. This time I'm going to choose just a regular red and transparent. Shift, put that together. It's looking kind of good. Again, I can double click. I can adjust some of these lines. I need them to kind of fit a little better. I'm going to do one more, and then I'm going to stop the recording and continue to work just on my own. And then I'll show you what I've done. I'm going to probably put it about half an hour, and I'll show you when I've made some progress and give you some tips about shading. And there's a tool that we can use that will give us gradients, and we can use different shades of green in the bun, and I'll show you how to do a background. But I'm going to just spend probably the next half hour and work on it, and when I come back I will show you where I've gone. Well, I've been working on this for a while, and you can see I've gotten onion shape, gotten the shadow right here of the top of the burger, actually. Got the rest of the burger, this part right here. I went in and I did the different areas of green in the leaf, in the lettuce. You can see kind of layered that. I added some highlights and some shadows. And basically, this is just a real kind of intuitive kind of a thing. It's really just kind of fun. And it's like cutting out pieces of construction paper. But there's one thing that I want to show you that can add some visual interest, and that's a gradient. Um, you can see that this hamburger kind of goes from sort of slightly darker to light, and especially on the bottom bun, you can see. And the way you do that is you click whatever shape you want to apply the gradient to, and instead of choosing a solid color, you choose gradient. And there are preset gradients that you can do. And, you know, a lot of them look pretty good. This one right here looks kind of nice. And you can customize your gradient though. Say if I want to customize this top one. Say if I want the shadow to be in a different area. You go to custom gradient. I can choose my color. Instead of a radial gradient, which gives me this circular pattern, I can do linear. And I can choose what angle. You can see from here it goes dark to light from the bottom up. If I did 180, we'll go sort of from the side. You can experiment. 225, that looks pretty cool because that's the shadow from the top and it gets lighter as it goes down. So let's see what that looks like. That looks pretty cool. I could do the same gradient. It will save it. Go to the same custom gradient. I just created this one. It will give me that effect. Could do the same thing, say with this, the onion. Right here is a little bit lighter. Maybe I'll put a radial gradient right there. So I'll choose gradient, and I will custom gradient. I'll go to radial. It's going to go from center. I'll choose my color. Choose a, that looks pretty cool. And what I can do, if it's going to go from this purple to dark. But if I don't want that full range, I can add a gradient stop, which means you can see how it changes. Like there, it's mostly all shadow. Here, it's a lot brighter. It's like, okay. The thing to do really is just experiment. It's going to look good. And there's my gradient that goes from light purple to the shadows right on the side. The fun thing is just experiment with it. It doesn't have to be perfect. Work with the layers, order of your layers, work with the curve tool and the polyline tool. Work with the, make sure that you always turn off your borders. Choose a color. Right here, I can just hit escape. If you're in a tool, you can hit escape. Make sure your border is always transparent. What else? Remember that you can double click to get these control points active. You can always delete a shape if you want to and redraw it. You can do Control Z multiple times if you want to undo. So anyway, let's just say this is my finished piece. And adjust things a little bit. You can also use the arrow tool on your keyboard. I'm just going to move these around. You can also rotate these if you wanted to. But anyway, that looks pretty good. Final thing I'm going to do is put a background behind it. So I'm going to go to my shape tool, choose a square shape. I'm going to draw a square around it. Now that's in the front, so what I'm going to do is right click, order, send backwards, or send all the way to the back. And that's pretty nice. Again, you can always make any background color that you'd like. Make sure you've got it named. So now what we want to do is we want to take this beautiful work of art, we want to save it as a JPEG and post it to our blog. So the way you do that is you go to File, you go to File, Download, choose JPEG. I'm going to choose my desktop. Here's my name. I'm going to click Save. And now we've got it saved, and then you can just post it to your blog, which is what I've done here, just by going to the image, choose your file, and just name it Digital Burger. I will have links up on the blog so you can watch this video, and feel free to send me an email at any time, and I hope you enjoy this one. Next week we'll do something with a portrait.